Mr. Vieira. Everyone's got various different opinions on was the sacking justified? Should he have gone? Should he have gone? Should he have had more time? Daz, I'll go to you first.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
My first thing is, how can they sack Patrick on St. Patrick's Day?
Bro.
When I saw that this morning, I was like, no.
Bro.
To be honest, they're 12th. They're 12th in the league at the moment.
Mm.
To me, my initial reaction is harsh. It's harsh. I think he could have been given a bit more time. When I look at the league table, Palace, they're where I would expect them to be.
Mm.
Looking at the latest results, I know there's a stat going around. They haven't had a shot on target for the last 3 games. That's not good. But
does that warrant a sacking?
I see they're probably looking at, they're trending downwards.
Yeah, exactly.
And the league is so tight.
I understand that.
Yeah,
right.
Go on, Azza.
But let's be honest, what are their expectations?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they all right, cool, they're trending down, they're not ascending, they're not reaching the heights they want to reach. And that stat is a little worrying. 0 shots on target in however many games.
Yeah,
but
I think it was 3 games.
3 games, last 3 games.
Yeah.
To then sack him, I think it's a bit of a jump the gun.
I'll jump in here.
Situation.
A lot of people have been saying it's harsh. And I think a lot of it is down to the player that Patrick was and the kind of nostalgia feeling that they have towards him as a player. But they haven't won a game since December. In that time, as Dad said, they played 3 games on a trot, didn't have a shot on target. Their next game is against Arsenal. If he was the manager and they lost that game, you're getting into the international break.
Mm.
You're reaching April without a win since December. I know you said they're 12th, but they're 4 or 5 points off the relegation zone just because the league's kind of split into 2 at the minute.
3 points.
Or split into they're 3 points off the relegation zone.
3 points.
So the league kind of split into 3. You've got like bottom to 12th, and then you've got Chelsea and like a few other teams around
Fulham,
10th.
Brentford. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got like the runaway at the top.
So
I think now was the best chance to sack him, and I don't see it as a harsh sacking, to be honest.
Wow, okay.
So one second, let me just inject some extra stats in there, and I'm gonna go to you, Mark. So the thing is, we got to look at the games, the run of games they had. So when you look at the last 10 games they've played, it's been all the top half, you know, all the teams that are flying, games you wouldn't actually have a high expectation of Crystal Palace getting points from. So that supports, you know, your 2 arguments. And I was, to be honest, overall, I'm with you. As in, if you look at it from the owner's point of view, we've got 12 games, 11 games left. It's less about sacking Vieira, more about, is there enough time for someone to come in and do some corrective stuff?
Right.
Then I got another viewpoint, which was like, well, he's had a difficult run. Internationals, a break is coming up. You can regroup, get the players. There's 2 games after the break. You would expect them to fare better than City or Arsenal or Brighton.
Can I ask based on what?
So, well, this is it. This is all if, buts and maybes. So yeah, with that in mind, go on, Mark.
All day I've been seeing, everyone's saying, okay, well, they've played X amount of teams. The last 11 games have been really, really hard. Next 2 games or next 3 games or whatever, they're gonna have some easier games. Based on their last run of games, there's no guarantee that they're gonna win those 2 games. And based on the momentum they've had in those last couple of games, there's definitely no guarantee that they're gonna pick up points against those teams that they should have won against. That might even make them worse. So for example, I don't know who their next 2 winnable games are, but let's assume they lose that game. That's only gonna demoralize them even more. Let's assume they don't get a point from the next game, or they get 1 point from the next game that they should supposedly win.
So
it's
after
demoralize them even more.
It was Leeds, Everton, West Ham.
After Arsenal, Leeds, Everton, West Ham.
I mean, come on.
That's all teams below them. 3 teams that are below them. in the table.
Sorry. Leicester, then Leeds, then Southampton.
I mean, come on.
Then Everton, then Wolves.
Let's be honest. You couldn't have given him time.
But my issue is,
let's
say your gamble doesn't pay off, right? And then now you've got 9 games to bring someone in to correct it.
Palace are not getting relegated.
You can't say that. That's a big shot. You can't say that.
The thing is, he's been there what? He's been there a year and a half now, and this is the first time that they've been in any turmoil.
But it's too close to the relegation zone.
But this isn't just like a blip. No win since December. We're getting into April.
And not only that, now they're not even taking shots on goal. So where's that win coming from?
Hear this next view now. So they're 12th, play 27 points. They have played one more game than a lot of the teams below them. So not only are they 3 points away from the relegation zone, a lot of those teams have a game in hand. But if you look at the teams that have been winning recently, Bournemouth, Everton, etc., they're all the teams below them. So from the owner's point of view, I've got 11 games to not get relegated and save myself 100, 150 million in lost revenue. What do you do?
You have to sack him.
I don't
You
agree
have
with
to
that.
sack him.
Nah,
Okay, so
I don't think
the
sacking,
question
but
would
yeah,
be
I
then,
don't-
based
Wait,
on that.
sorry. You're the owner's view. Let me give you one more bit then. They only spent 44 million in the summer.
Okay.
And he didn't get any permanent signings in January. He got Sambi on loan. Go
And they've
on.
got Jordan Ayew up top.
and Jordan
Well,
Ayew
his fault,
starts.
And
No disrespect to
Zaha's
Jordan
been
Ayew.
out, and Zaha been
No,
out
all the respect, all
for
the
a few
disrespect.
games.
Don't Jordan Ayew.
Yeah.
He should not be playing ball.
You're saying- okay.
Especially at the high
Bro,
level.
Daz's
Sorry.
point, yeah, was
Yeah.
Daz's point was
That's what he's having to work with, and you think it's okay to sack him?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
No, he has
But
he has
The
who's-
to-
squad,
but-
and I did think that is not a Premiership squad.
Okay, so is
On
his
paper.
squad not better than the likes of Southampton? Is it not better than the likes
Bournemouth.
of Bournemouth?
Mm.
He shouldn't be getting
think
relegated, bro.
If we put it player for player on average over that squad, it might not be as clear cut as you think.
But he's
Ooh,
above
I
all
don't
them
know,
teams.
you know?
But that's
What
the thing
Bournemouth-
is,
what Palace's squad is better than Bournemouth.
I could, if you're going 11 for 11,
I said squad.
But you have to base
Okay,
on the 11
yeah,
though. 'cause
but
the
I don't
11
know,
is-
11 for
but I
11.
think if you go, most people do it 11 for 11.
Yeah, okay, go. Yeah,
Everyone's got dregs in their squad.
yeah.
I think Palace hold up.
They do.
Like
At least 10th.
you've got Anderson, who
Mm.
Decent.
I saw Anderson when he came to Anfield at the start of the
And
season.
bullied Nunes.
Absolutely bullied Nunes.
Can I say
Let's
who
not
hasn't
talk about
bullied
that
Noonan? No, I'm joking.
There's no talk about it.
but he got
Come
sent
back
off
to
the
that.
other day, and when he suspended Anderson. So I think he's had a few players out, and where they are, where the squad is, and where they are in the league, I think is about right.
I agree.
I would say 12.
Yeah,
I say someone like Palace would aim for 12, but because of the anomaly of the league now, where
Yeah.
where 12 is covering 9 spaces,
Yeah, bro.
it's not a real 12th, if that makes sense.
12th to the bottom, 3
It's
points.
very
Yeah.
tight.
Normally you have
Sorry.
like around this time of the season, you have like your 12th to your 15th, 16th. They're the ones who you say you're gonna be
relatively
struggling,
safe.
and then you've
yeah.
got like your middle. With Palace, I've normally been in. Like I know under Hodgson they were struggling a little bit,
Yeah.
but everyone says, "Oh, they're 12th. We shouldn't be sacked." It's not a real 12th for me. I know that sounds weird.
Mm.
No, but it's facts.
Yeah, it's
maths.
not-
Yeah,
it's not
facts.
a real
It's
12.
facts.
You know
Because there are some seasons. Oh, and the other thing is as well, the team that's 11th, Villa, I believe, are 8 points ahead with a game in hand, bruv. It's whatever way you slice and
When,
dice,
when all said and done, yeah,
it's a bit mad.
it's too tight at the bottom for Parish to say, you know what, we're going to give him more games
Yeah.
to try and save it. Because if he doesn't do it now and then they go down and he'll be like, oh, we should have done it earlier.
Okay, so then the next question is, who do you bring in?
Well, you've seen the
Not Hodgson.
Yeah, they said Hodgson.
literally
Yeah.
2 hours before we start recording, we're hearing there's rumors they're talking to Roy Hodgson to come back. I'm flabbergasted.
Based on that, they should have kept Vieira. So that's the only reason I'm saying you should have kept Vieira.
Well,
So-
based on that.
Can we address the elephant in the room then? So, is there other managers that would have got longer?
No.
No.
Because I'm looking at managers that are below him that have been flirting with relegation all season. They're
Different
still winning a job.
Different owners.
Different owners.
Yeah.
Different
And-
owners, different
And
mentality.
wait. So in the teams below him, only 3 of those clubs have the same manager they started the season with.
West Ham.
West Ham, Leicester, and Nottingham Forest.
It's just down to different
Yeah.
owners.
And I think Forest.
Wolves got rid of their manager.
Yeah.
Everton got rid of their manager.
Southampton.
Bournemouth got rid of their manager. Leeds got rid of their manager. Southampton got rid of their manager. Those managers got less time.
And I think Cooper's got a lot of credit at Forest just because of what he done last
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
And the major overhaul that he's had with the squad this year.
Practically a whole new squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they
even
probably got
I
a
think-
plan that
I think
allows
Moyes-
them to go down this season, and it's not.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you don't. That's not true, John, because they bought 27 players. They're not planning to go back. So sorry, keep going.
No, I'm saying I think even Moyes has got a bit of credit for his previous 2
He has.
seasons.
But how much
Yeah.
did Moyes spend in the summer and in January?
Yeah, I think Moyes is living off a little bit of credit
Mm.
because he has been part of the reason they've had some of their best seasons in recent times. So he's got credit in the bank. Rodgers, he didn't get any money.
Enough credit in the bank?
Yeah.
West
well,
Ham?
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
he's
West
living
Ham.
off of Europe.
Yeah,
That
that
is-
conference,
Oh, yeah,
he's still in-
that
oh, yeah, I forgot
conference
he's
is,
still in
yeah,
Europe.
conference
Yeah,
is
he's still in
good.
the-
That conference
Still in
league
Europe.
is helping.
Ah,
That's
okay.
I
good.
think that's what's really
Yeah.
key.
It is.
with the
It's
job.
that. It's mainly that.
Yeah,
They're finishing
that's
higher
true.
up in the league than they expected to.
And I think that too good to go down business might bite West Ham. I think it might
And
bite
listen,
West
by
Ham.
the time we have this next pod, he
Mm.
might be sacked, bro. Don't be surprised.
Yeah,
Because
that's
they're probably
true.
looking across the road at Crystal Palace thinking, okay, well, it's
But
fight.
again, he doesn't lose this weekend. Then he's got international break.
Who they got this weekend?
Good question. They
It doesn't
have-
even matter because I can't see
I
West
don't
Ham
think they got
really.
a game.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they might play Man City. So
Yeah.
Man City
Then
are in
they-
the FA Cup.
Then they
even
got
better
Bly.
for him.
They got
And then
Bly.
they won 3-0 last night, I believe. So
They played last night?
against
Yeah.
Larnaca. Yeah,
4-0, I
UEFA
think it's
Conference,
4-0.
UEFA Conference or whatever it is. So he's bought time. And then, like I said, Rodgers didn't get any money. He's got credit in the bank, FA Cup, etc. So, and we've seen the high profile the halo of the ex players, the Gerrards and Lampards. Didn't matter. They got fired. They got fired. So
But what I would say, I think even though he's been sacked, I think he's done enough in that kind of 18 months to potentially get another job back in England.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And
It's not. It's not a Colo-Toure thing.
Definitely not. 100% not.
I can't see
No
him
way.
I can't see him getting another Premiership job.
Well, Vieira?
Yeah.
I can.
You think-
I can.
you don't think so?
No,
I think so.
I can.
I don't think so.
Not as his next job. No,
No,
he would have to go somewhere else
I
and prove
agree.
himself.
Well,
I'd be
why do you say
disappointed.
that? One second, Keith. Why do you say that?
I don't think he's done enough in that 18 months.
Interesting. Go on, Keith. I'll tell you why I don't think he will either. But go on.
I think he's done enough in 18 months, especially in his first season. You can see the style of football he's trying to play. There's been a few instances where the team just kind of had bozo moments in the last kind of couple minutes that have cost the team points. I've seen them play a couple of times this season. They play pretty good football. They've just been a bit unfortunate, and it's just come.
So you think
Come
it's a
to bite him.
personnel issue as well?
It
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, they've got no
100%.
goal scorer. They ain't got a goal scorer.
So
Yes,
100%.
exactly. So this is true. No prolific goal scorer. Edouard and Mateta are just pretty much the same player. Just they're haphazard in front of goal. Put the ball on the plate, they're missing.
AU.
Zaha, Elise, Eze are far too inconsistent.
They're too nonchalant.
They're all similar.
They're
All of them, all
they're
three of them, all
nonchalant.
similar.
For the talent that they have, I
Yeah.
agree. That's another great point as well. They're all very similar players, but they're also all very inconsistent. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I hear you, but you also have to take those things into consideration. Another manager coming in, what's he gonna do that? Vieira, who's a very well known, very well respected player in the game. What is a Hodgson gonna do?
I don't think it'll be Hodgson. I think that's just
or
lazy
yeah,
journalism.
let's
be
just say
honest.
Hodgson, whether it's Hodgson one.
Then we wake up tomorrow.
I
breaking
wouldn't be
news.
surprised if it's Austin because
I wouldn't
that's
be
them
surprised.
going back to what they know.
Yeah.
What keeps them in the league.
Exactly.
And-
but what is
barely.
anyone gonna do
Well,
different?
so I think there's a few things here. One, you're right, but if you come in, shut up shop, because that was the thing with Hodgson. He was super defensive, weren't creative going forward. If you feel like he can come in, you give him an 11-game contract, and he just keeps you in this league, then they'll do it. They don't care what it looks like, ridicule. They've recently had investment. There's the investment structure there is quite complicated. There's a lot of people involved, a lot of millions. So if it's Roy, you take the ridicule, but if come June, you're still in this league, cool with it.
Works.
And I think, secondly, the thing with the Vieira sacking, I think it's a combination of a few things. And timing, as always, is important. So ultimately, I think two big reasons for their underperformance: lack of investment from the owners, right? And maybe there's a part to play in terms of you had to probably be a bit more pragmatic with the football you tried to play with that team. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I know the football you want to play, bro, but not to disrespect anybody, but you're starting with Jordan Ayew every week, cuz.
Man,
Like,
that's
do you know what I
actually
mean? So even though we can blame the owners for their part in it, at the end of the day, we're here now. The facts are the facts, and they will learn that the next manager, they have to, find a way to invest in him more. But unfortunately, you're the manager, you go. But if we could rewind back a year, I personally think he gets more investment. He's not in this place where he's now. He gets more investment and better players. He's not in this place. And the reason why I don't think he gets another job in the Prem is that Crystal Palace is kind of seen as one of the entry doors in the league. So if you can't do your thing at Palace, there's probably very few other clubs that will think, well, despite your circumstances at Palace, you can come here and do a job. I can't think of anybody who didn't do well at Palace and has gone on to get another Prem job after. I might be wrong, but I can't think of anybody.
I
And
don't
went
think-
upwards.
You're not wrong, I don't think.
Yeah, no,
can't think of
I
anybody.
agree with that completely.
Who was the one that Mourinho cussed out? Was it the ball? We ain't seen him since.
Awful.
We ain't seen him since.
Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And-
how's that gone?
He was shocking.
Yeah. And to be
How's it
fair,
gone?
He was shocking.
sorry, the timing of the sacking, it kind of helps the owners as well because
International break,
well, they got Arsenal on Sunday. That's like a free hit.
of course.
Yeah.
They're not really expected to win.
We hope it's a free hit.
Some of us do. It's kind of a free hit. So if they lose,
for you next still.
if they lose, then everyone will say, well, they weren't expected to win. And if they do get a point or something, they say, well, the new manager got something to work with.
Mm.
So I think they've timed it.
I don't know. Why would you not give Vieira that game then if it's a free hit? The Sunday against Arsenal.
Because it wouldn't be a free hit for him. It would go against his run of games.
But that's a good point
Mm.
Naz has made,
Mm.
because the other side of the argument I've been seeing today is, well, look, whoever comes in, you might get a Sean Dyche response, and you might beat the league leaders, fine, right? But if you don't, you might as well kept him anyway, giving him a couple of weeks to work with his team, international break, etc. And then if he picks up 3 points, and it's a big if to your point, Mark, and all the data and everything you've seen so far says it wasn't going to happen, even though they were probably 10 minutes away and an Elise brain fade away from getting a point at Man City, right?
Jeez, man.
Then it's a very different picture. He gets 3 points in a couple of weeks. He's pulled away from the pack. But again, it's all risks. You got to go either way.